Howdy ho, and welcome back to another episode. Let's jump in here. So, once again, let's play make believe here. You're standing at line at your local Walmart, right? And just like everything else, maybe your budget is just a little tight, right? And you're scanning the milk and the bread, maybe a few essentials, and watching the register total creep up quietly, stressing out over money and we're going to be able to afford this. We're going to be able to get this, right? So there's a little bit of stress that's antiquated with this. And suddenly, a guy steps up next to you, taps his card on the terminal, pays off your entire bill, smiles, and tells you to have a blessed and wonderful day. Sounds like an absolute miracle or an absolute blessing or whatever, right? Now imagine that same guy being approached by store security moments later and escorted off the premise and handed an official lifetime ban from every Walmart on the planet. We're going to jump into this as soon as we come back.
The curtains rise, the lights burn bright. You're blinded now, can't see the fight. Smoke and mirrors, they lead the way. Fooling hearts night after day. Welcome to the show, it's all pretend. The smiles, the lies, the perfect end.
All right. Welcome back to Breaking the System. This is episode 81. And today we're talking about being banned for being nice. We're talking about Damon Darling. Pretty cool guy. This is a controversial debate that's happening on the internet right now. It's all over the place. It is the saga of a comedian and content creator named Damon Darling versus the world's largest retailer giant, Walmart. And if you've seen TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram over the past year, you've probably seen Damon's videos. He goes into public places, strikes up a wholesome, lighthearted conversation with strangers, does random acts of kindness, and often paying for people's full grocery orders right at the register. It's sweet, it's heartwarming, and millions of people love it. But recently, Walmart drew a hard line in the sand. They slapped him with a global trespass notice. And so today, we're going to try to unpack, we're going to look at both sides of this conversation. Was Walmart being a cold, heartless corporate villain shutting down genuine goodwill? Or is there a deeper, more complicated reality behind philanthropy? I'm horrible with words, if you haven't noticed. Basically being a philanthropist in content creating, and that most viewers are completely ignoring. So we're going to dive into this, okay? And so first, let's talk about Damon. Damon built a massive following around a simple, effective formula called positivity. And I'm not too sure we don't need more of that. Like, why don't we have more positivity? Why does everything have to be so negative, right? When you turn on the TV, when you turn on the news, like what's all over the place? It's negativity, right? Why do we need that? I think we need more positivity, and I think we need more people like Damon here. And so, in a usual clogged news, drama, harsh pranks, his content feels like a breath of fresh air. He walks up to everyday folks, often elderly shoppers, mothers with young kids, or people who clearly look like they're carrying a heavy load, and he lightens that load for them just a little bit. And when news broke that Walmart issued him a lifetime ban for filming these acts of kindness inside their stores, the internet does what the internet does, and it exploded. And so there's a petition that's starting, that's gaining traction, demanding for Walmart to lift the ban, and that is change.org. Change.org. And from the public's perspective, you can totally understand the outrage. The average person looks at this and says, hold on, wait a minute. Walmart made over $600 billion in revenue last year. That in itself should make, whether we're talking about this conversation or whatever, like that should make people just stand up and be like, what? Like, why are we struggling so bad if this company is making $600 billion in revenue? Like, that's insane. But anyways, okay. And so they made $600 billion, and they're kicking out a guy who is using his own money to buy food for their customers. And so how does this make any sense whatsoever? Like, Walmart's still making their money, right? Yeah. And so on the surface, it feels like peak corporate bureaucracy. It looks like a massive company choosing rigid rules over human compassion. But, and this is the but, we have to look at both sides. But with most viral internet stories, when you strip away the 60-second video edit and look at the actual logistics, things get a little bit more complicated. And that's what we're going to talk about. So let's look through the lens of a store operation and private property law. So first and foremost, Walmart stores are private property. Yes, they are open to the public, but that doesn't make them a public park or a town square. It doesn't make them a sidewalk, right? And when you step inside, you agree to the store policies and to follow those policies. And Walmart has two very strict, non-negotiable policies that directly impact creators like Damon. 1, no unauthorized commercial filming or production. Okay? And 2, no solicitation or unapproved third-party activities. Now you might think, like, come on. People are always filming their stupid little TikToks in Walmart and doing stuff down the aisles, and like, if you ever watch people like make the toilet paper forts and they try to sneak in at night or stay the night or whatever, and they make these little 30-second clips, right? Yeah, it's true. But there is a massive legal difference between a teenager doing a 5-second dance video in aisle 4 and a creator bringing in high-end recording gear, approaching customers, and generating monetized content for major social media platforms. So we have to think about it from a liability perspective. What happens if someone doesn't want to be filmed? What if someone is in a vulnerable financial position receiving assistance with their groceries and suddenly a camera is in their face? Even if Damon's intentions are true and pure, not every customer wants their face attached to a viral video about struggling to pay for groceries. I kind of see where this is going, right? Like, yeah, someone's paying for your groceries, but you're going to be on the internet for millions of people to watch and being like, and of course, think about the people that are kind of mean, and they're going to make fun of these people for being poor or impoverished or not having enough money to afford things like milk and cheese or bread. Yeah, it's sad, it's pathetic, but that's part of society. And people just don't want to be made fun of, right? And so that makes that demographic very vulnerable in this particular instance, okay? Furthermore, there's the policy of precedent. If Walmart allows Damon Darling to walk around checkouts, filming customers and handing out cash because his videos are what they call wholesome, okay? And this is the part that I thought was very interesting. How do they stop the next influencer who wants to walk in and be very obnoxious or very disruptive or doing dangerous pranks? Because if you allow one, right? And I'm all for Damon doing this. I think this is amazing stuff. So don't get me wrong, like I think that more people in the world need to be like Damon and reaching out and helping people and just being a good, genuine person. But from a legality standpoint, if we allow one type of person in the store to do a specific thing, we have to allow another type of person in the store to do the exact same thing, right? It's just like we can't say that because you are white, you're not going to be allowed in the store, or because you're black, you're not going to be allowed in the store, or because you're a Democrat or a Republican or whatever, right? Everybody has to have those same rights, okay? And we really have to take a step back and think about that. And so, to corporate legal terms, a rule has to apply to everyone equally. You can't legally enforce an anti-filming policy on toxic prankers if you make unapproved exceptions for wholesome creators. So, let's look at the ethics of philanthropy. When a creator spends $300 on groceries for a stranger, that family goes home with $300 worth of basically free food. And that is a real, tangible, and undeniable impact or difference for that family, right? And so Damon has made a genuinely true difference in that specific family's afternoon. But on the flip side, that $300 investment turns into a video that generates millions of views. If he's good, and he's good at what he does, okay? And so millions of views on the internet translate into ad revenue and brand deals and platform growth and reputation building. In the creator economy, the video often yields far more financial return for the creator than the cost of the groceries that he bought. And so the question becomes, is it still pure charity if it's also a profitable business model? I take a step back and I'm like, well, he could be the douchebag that runs in and does all the stupid stuff, right? Or hurts somebody or does whatever, and he's still making content, and there's a huge difference for me, right? So I just look at it good versus evil, and like talking about the news and everything that's publicized, and there's so much evil that's publicized. I really feel like Walmart could have took a different approach and been like, hey, you know what? We would love for you to keep doing the stuff that you're doing, but let's work together. Let's take this in a different path. Let's come up with something for you to do where you can still make your content right and from a legality standpoint, right? And it all works out. Okay. I don't know. I'm just thinking we need more good in the world and less bad, and we need more of that being publicized. Okay. And so here's a personal take on this, and everyone has their own right opinions on things. Damon Darling is doing real good for individual people, and don't think he has bad intentions. But Walmart isn't necessarily the evil corporation in this specific instance either. They're a massive enterprise protecting customer privacy, managing foot traffic logistics, and enforcing standard property rules. Could Walmart have handled it better? Absolutely. We just talked about how they could have. So imagine this. If instead of handing down a lifetime ban, Walmart's PR team reaches out to Damon and says, hey, we love what you're doing to help out our specific shoppers. Let's officially team up and do this together. We'll sponsor the groceries. We'll set up a designated area. We'll handle the media releases properly, and we'll make sure everyone is safe and everyone is comfortable. And that way Walmart still has a little bit of control around the legality of it. And we can keep out the other stuff, right? The evil side of things. The people that want to come in and do stupid pranks or throw food at people or open food up and lick it, right? Which is extremely dangerous, okay? Don't do that. That's stupid, okay? And so I do think that Walmart could have handled this a little bit differently. And in doing so, I think that would have been a massive win-win for everyone involved. I mean, just think about the foot traffic that would have been coming into Walmart if Walmart would have took a step back and said, you know what, we're going to help this guy and we're going to publicize it. We're going to throw it out there, and people will be like, oh yeah, well, like I would love to go to Walmart. I would love to meet up with Damon and see if he's going to pay for my groceries. Like, I have an electric bill. I have medical bills. I have to buy dog food or whatever, right? And I don't have money for myself to buy my own butter or my own cheese or my own meat. And like, that would be awesome to meet up with this guy. So I think it would have been a win-win for everyone. But instead, we got a legal ban. We got a viral controversy. And we got a divided internet, right? And I think Walmart's going to get a little bit of pushback out of this. And I think they already are. Okay? So I want to pass the question over to you right now, right? Always kind of trying to throw in our critical thinking questions. This is more of a shorter episode tonight. Do you think Walmart was completely wrong for banning someone who was just trying to help? Or do you respect why a business has to enforce strict filming policies inside the stores? Right? And that's a personal answer. That's a personal question that everybody's going to answer a little bit differently. Okay? So down in the comments, how would you have answered this? Do you think that he deserved a legal ban? Or do you think that Walmart should have worked with him? Right? Do you think that Walmart should allow people to come in and film inside their stores, to film people that's unknowingly being filmed and to put that on the internet? Right? Where's your stance? Okay? So let me know your thoughts in the reviews. Drop a comment on any of our social media pages that we have. And if you enjoy this episode, don't forget to hit the follow button, like, subscribe, right? Leave a 5-star, whatever, okay? Even if you hated it, why did you hate it, right? Put the comments down, right? Let's get that conversation going, okay? So until next time, take care of yourself and maybe buy a stranger a coffee today. Even if you don't post it online, right? Do something nice for somebody. See how it feels. And until then, we'll catch you guys next time. Peace, God bless, good night.